Yeah, good morning, students. We It's a good news coming to your homes wherever you are. I hope you enjoyed last week's class. We took a very good look at history, why there is the need to study history. We went further to look at the importance of history. I gave you an assignment as well. I hope you have tackled it. Of course, I'm still marking those who have submitted it. If you haven't submitted yours yet, do so. Before I ended, I made us look at ethnic groups as part of history. I defined what an ethnic group was. We understand an ethnic groups is a group of people who live together. They share the same things in common and have the same ancestors. So these groups of people are believed to have come from a different parts of Africa, and finally they've come to settle in Ghana. They have a different way of life. That is the main reason why we have various cultural display. Looking at it very well, they have a different way they talk. As sisters and brothers from the northern, you are agreeing with them. Their languages or the way their languages are different, as well as ours who are in the south here. We also have a different way we talk. The Akans have different way they talk. The Evers do have same, as well as the Ghana language. So here are some few ethnic groups and the way they are. When you move up to the top, you have the Mamprusis, you have the Sisales, you have the Kokumbes, you have the Dagombes, and even with the Gonja land, who happen to have their rulers in Dura, Japan. Somaila in the Dura, Japan. He was the gentleman who led the Gonjas to conquer so many lands in the northern sector. We also have the Akans. Now, a group of people who speak Akan. We have the Asantes, we have the Dentra, we have the German, we have the Bono, we have the Seshi, we have the Fantis, and a lot more. There are a lot of group of people who speak Akan. Even the land we are at the moment happens to have an Akan speaking society, that is the Philippines. Moving from the Akan, we'll go to the Ewes. They also have a group domain, we have the Anlok people who happens to have their paramount chief to be Yabonrura. No, sorry, I think they are paramount chief for the Ewe land. Yeah, I would come to that. I'm trying to figure it out. The paramount chief for the Ewe land is also on board. They have their festival to be Hobechocho. These group of people have different ways they celebrate their festival, and they are all of one origin or one descent. Um, Going to the Gadangwe too, they are also a group of people, they are also a different group of people from the Gan. And those of the Adangwe is it's a mixture of the Gan and the Adangwe. And so such people, the Gans that they are around when you go to the even Accra, predominant among them are people who are believed to live around the coastal areas. We talk of the Tishi, we talk of the Choko, talk of the Labadi, that's all these coastal guys, Osu, Labon, Labadi, all these people are Gan, typical Gan traditional place where you could see most of the Gan. And the Adangwe people, when you also stream down to the Adan, coming down to Osudoku, coming down to Dodowa, all these two are also group of people who are believed to have the Krobos, most of the Krobos to speak the Dabga Adangwe. So that is how the ethnic groups is designed. They have some common way of life. When it comes to dressing, they are there. Their language is so unique, special. Their food, my goodness, you get to you get Akwele and your Okro and you are gone. Their dance too, oh my god. I remember the last time we had a traditional day, we had a very good dance. And so all these group of people are believed to have come from one ancestors, and they all trace their descent from one origin. So the question is, why did these people come to Ghana? Initially, I told you they came from different parts of Africa, and they finally came to settle in Ghana. And so they came mainly or purposefully to seek for shelter. Most of them due to a lot of tribal wars and unrest in the society. They needed a place, in fact, to come and have peace. They needed peace. They needed a place to clothe themselves. Others needed a place to sleep. And so these ethnic groups merely had to travel far, such that their peace, to have rest. And so people, this is how the ethnic groups came about. We will look at sources of history, even as we end the aspect of our ethnic groups. In our subsequent lesson, we'll throw much light on it. Sources of history. After the importance of studying history, where can we gain our history from? So history has its source derived from so many places, so many. Even here in our country, we have a lot of places you can go and get history from. Yeah. So the first source of history is what we call the archaeology. The archaeology. Archaeology simply has to do with the study of the past by digging the ground to seek for materials that have been used in old days. Those guys dig deep in the ground. They get to know initially they were not using these books we have. Theirs were plays. Initially what they wrote on, they never used pen with ink. They had a different way, a feather, they drop ink in. Their ink was so special from what we have here. So mainly one source where we can get history from is archaeology. They dig deep the ground to get to know more, get to find more, which is why even at the moment people still dig deeply to find gold. They believe that every now and then there are different ways and styles of gold. People dig deeply to find bauxite. These mineral resources are ways people dig in to get to discover how it is. Another history we would look at has to do with oral tradition. Now, when it comes to oral tradition, it is a spoken way where elders pass it on from generation to generation. Even as I'm speaking with you now, it is another way of history I am giving. Yeah. So we sit with our elders and they give us what had happened in the past, how the Ashantis ruled, why we have in the Japa as the founder of the Gonja land, why Okonfo Anoche was the best friend of Osei Tutu. All these things are oral history. We get to know why we have different ethnic groups in Ghana. So basically, this is how it is. We would continue in our subsequent lesson from the sources of history. But for now, let's look at this. I have given you a short homework that you are to look at it for me. Mention 10 ethnic groups in Ghana and the language they speak. I hope you put up your marginal best and work this out. Thank you very much for today. We will continue in our subsequent lesson. Bye bye for now.